Rules are so much stronger than willpower. You cannot rely on willpower to get you through. You need rules. Your rules, they're a way of saying, this is who I am. This is how I live. These are my non-negotiables. You're never too busy, too tired, too old, or too anything to pursue your dreams. Welcome to the Distracted Dreamer podcast, where you'll learn how to move all those never-ending distractions aside and chase your dreams with confidence. Hello, friend. I'm your host, Carlene, and I want to give you a big warm welcome to the Distracted Dreamer family. If you're here, I know that you're the kind of person who is really serious about making the most of the time, the energy, and the efforts that you put into your days and your dreams. Now, before we get started, be sure to open your notes app or maybe have a journal or a notebook open, because today we're going to be doing some work on making your life a whole lot easier. Doesn't that sound great? So we're not just talking today. We're going to get into action and we're going to make some commitments. And then you'll take the tool that we're talking about today and you're going to make it yours and you're going to use it every single day. And it's going to be super, super simple. So today we're talking about the second step in the Own Your Day series, which is to create your standard operating rules, your SORs. And the reason that we're going to do that is because the freedom that you're craving, it's not waiting on the other side of more time or more motivation, but you actually need more rules. Now, stay with me. I'm not talking about the rigid kind and not the kind that other people put on you, but the kind of rules that you choose for yourself. These are going to be rules that protect your time, that honor your values, and that help make the right decisions feel automatic and really easy. In the last episode, we talked about the first step to owning your day, which was to control your mornings. And mornings matter because they're the launch pad for everything else in your day. If the morning is your launch pad, your rules are your compass. They keep you pointed towards your goals, especially when those distractions show up. And let's be honest, they always show up. And rules are the most important step in becoming less stressed and more productive. They also steer you away from all those bright and shiny temptations and help you make the right decisions instinctively. And they fuel your willpower to deal with the chaos of the day. In this structure, it gives you freedom. I'm talking time freedom. Freedom to do the things that light you up. Freedom to spend time with the people that you love. Freedom to take care of yourself. And here's what I love about rules, is rules are so much stronger than willpower. You cannot rely on willpower to get you through. You need rules. Rules are also better than habits, and I'll explain that in a few minutes. And overall, rules are they're essential to have a better life. And the rules that you create for yourself with the Own Your Day approach, they're not going to require you to work harder than you do now. In fact, the opposite is true. You'll get more done in less time and still make it home for dinner. You'll get more sleep and become a happier person. Really, truly. Now, rules equal freedom. I said they equal time freedom. Now, they might sound like something that would box you in, but in practice, they set you free because there are so many benefits to having rules for yourself. First of all, you're going to have fewer regrets because you're going to be less likely to impulsively do things that don't align with your values. Rules give you that pause so that you don't make those impulsive decisions. And rules, they're your framework for however you define success for yourself and your life and your dreams. And rules give you strength to resist temptations. There's nothing worse than waking up and regretting having one too many drinks the night before or spending money that you didn't need to spend. And after you got the thing, you were like, I don't even know I got this. Yeah, have some rules around that. When you have rules, you will have less guilt. You'll be less fearful. You'll have less frustration, and you will worry less because you're living according to your beliefs and within your boundaries, not everybody else's. And rules, they minimize the number of decisions that you have to make in a day. We already talked about how many decisions we have to make in a day in the last episode. This works because once you create the rule, you already made the decision when you created it. You don't need to keep making that same decision over and over again. It simply is. And at the end of the day, your rules boost your self-esteem and your confidence because you're in the driver's seat of your days and ultimately your life. Now, your rules, they're a way of saying, this is who I am. This is how I live. These are my non-negotiables. We all need to have these. So here's a few of my rules. You definitely do not have to have as many rules as I have. But here's a few. No phone until I've gotten myself ready for the day. I make my bed every day. In fact, when I don't make my bed, I feel it that I forgot to do something. And it's very unsettling. And then when I see that I didn't make my bed, I have to hurry up and make it because I can't get into a messy bed at night. It's just my way of setting the tone for the day. Rest time is over. Time to start my day. And it looks really nice. Another one of my rules is to be kind always. No matter what somebody has done to me or hurts me, I live by the rule to be kind always. Not to let people walk all over me, right? Not to take it. But I don't have to do what they're doing. I can still be kind. Another rule of mine is I plan my week on Sundays. I couldn't do my weeks if I didn't plan them on Sundays. Another thing I do is I review my day at the end of the day and I plan for tomorrow. I really make sure, hey, I know what I've got on the docket for tomorrow, my schedule, the things I have to accomplish. Another rule, I move every day, whether I'm going to a Pure Barre class or I'm just walking the dog. I gotta move every single day. The other thing is the dishes have to be done after dinner because it stresses me out to wake up to a mess in the morning. That's a way of finishing the day. Finish it. You don't want to deal with yesterday's mess in the morning. You just don't. At least I don't. So the other thing that I do is I put my workout clothes out the night before because it just creates less friction in the morning and one less decision that I have to make. Now, you don't need to start with a dozen rules, just a few intentional rules that will really create some massive change for you. And here's the magic. The rules you set aren't just about what you do. They're about who you are becoming. So every action that you take and every action that you avoid, it's a vote for the kind of person that you want to be. Like if you want to be a productive person during the day and you want to set the tone for your day, you'll be a person that makes your bed. If you dream of being an author, your rule might be, I will write for 30 minutes every day. Or I will not let a day go by without touching my manuscript. So these aren't just productivity rules. They're identity building rules. You're not waiting to be an author someday. You're being one now, today, because that's how you're behaving. You're behaving according to your rules. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is there are two kinds of rules. Your rules fall into two categories. The first is I will statements. I will rules, they light a spark. They tell your brain, this is what I do. They activate motivation, they give you confidence, and they give you that momentum. So they're called approach rules, I will statements. It's how are you going to approach your day? The second kind of rules are I will not rules or I will not statements. These are like avoidance rules. And I will not rules, they create boundaries and they protect your focus and your energy. And here's the thing. Our brains process the approach and avoidance rules very differently. So approach rules, or the I will rules, they fire up our dopamine system. They create that feeling of movement and of growth. The I will not rules, or the avoidance rules, they reduce all that friction and noise throughout your day. They really simplify the path that you're taking and you're moving throughout the day and helping you eliminate all those detours that take you like right off track, and then you don't know what you're doing and you never get back to what your goals were for the day. So here are some I will not rules that I love. I will not hit snooze. We talked about that in the previous episode. I will not check email before planning my day. I will not answer every call that comes in. I will not mindlessly scroll. I will not waste time gossiping or arguing. I will not eat or drink things that make me feel like garbage. Those are some great I will not rules. And these are the invisible energy leaks that we often overlook. These are the things that actually zap our energy. So what we want to do is make an honest assessment of what throws you off track. What feels small in the moment, but adds up over time. If you're eating sugary snacks before bed, or you're having that glass of wine before bed, it doesn't feel like a big deal when you do it once. But then when you keep doing it, the impact of how your sleep is interrupted, it takes its toll on you. So ask yourself, do you want to be a person who sleeps well? And if you want to be a person who actually sleeps well, then you have to behave like a person who wants to sleep well. So ask yourself, who am I becoming? And what does that version of me do consistently? And what does that version of me not do? This is about who you are becoming, not just what you're doing and what you're not doing. What we want to do is we want to build your personal SORs, or your standard operating rules. Think of this like designing your own user manual. You're not winging it anymore. You're running a beautifully creative, intentional life with structure that supports you. So start with just 3 I will rules and 3 I will not rules. If you want to pause me right here, go ahead and do that. And write down 3 I will rules and 3 I will not rules. And then hit play again. Come back, okay? Here's what might help you reflect. Ask yourself, what do I need daily? What do I need daily to feel grounded, energized, and aligned? What do you need? Another question, what keeps pulling me away from the life I want to live? What's getting in the way? So this is where dreaming meets doing. This is where that big, bold vision that you have, it actually translates into your tiny daily choices. And these rules are the choices that you are making when you are writing these rules down right now. Who you become, it's not decided in a single moment. You have to realize that. It's decided in what you choose to do today and tomorrow and the day after that. You do not need willpower. You need systems. And here's where it clicks. You don't need to try harder. You need a rule. Think about wearing a seatbelt. There's no decision. There's no wasting all your cognitive fuel overthinking about if you should buckle up or not. You just do it. You just do it because it's a rule. You don't need willpower to buckle up every time you get in the car. You don't need to think, gosh, I really need to create a habit. The rule literally forces the habit creation. There's no debate. You just do it. And so the same logic applies here. Think of your rules as a way to eliminate your bad habits and replace them with positive routines that actually make the right decisions automatic. We all have to say no to things. So be clear about what you will not do each day. Some items are easy, like you will not lie, cheat, or steal. Those don't necessarily need to be written down, but you do need to be clear that you will not hit the snooze button, that you will not order takeout anymore, that you will not engage with negative people, that you won't make impulsive decisions, that you won't eat anything after dinner, or maybe that you won't drink alcohol on a work night. Make an honest assessment of what throws you off track. The best way to avoid distractions and focus on the right things is to actually implement rules that make it all but impossible to do the wrong thing. So here's an example. If you have a system, it will make the right actions automatic. If you don't want to eat potato chips, keep them out of your house. Just don't buy them. If you want to save money, take the Amazon app off your phone, because it's what we avoid that allows us to stay on track, and that's how we get results. So rules, they eliminate decisions, no drama, no wasted mental energy, just rhythm. So habits are great, but rules create the scaffolding that make those habits automatic. Now, when you have rules and you have self-compassion, you have magic. And here's what I mean. We have to be real. Life is messy. You're not going to follow your rules 100% of the time, and that's okay. It's not about perfection. The goal is consistency. And if you've been listening to me for any amount of time, you know what my definition of consistency is. Consistency is not doing it perfectly every day. Consistency is showing up the day after you didn't. Consistency is showing up the day after you didn't. And you're building a structure that supports you, not punishes you. So when you create your rules, you're creating a life that honors your values and protects your peace. And that's really powerful. That's beautiful. That's yours. Take a moment today. Write your rules. Put them up somewhere where you can see them. Start with just a few. What you will do and what you will not do. And commit. And not from a place of pressure, but from a place of possibility. You don't need to hustle harder to own your day. I promise you. You do not need to do that. You just need the right rules. Don't just think about what you want to do. Think about who you want to become. And then write rules that make that version of you inevitable. And when I teach this in workshops, I am always blown away with what people come up with. Things I've never even thought of. I want to hear your rules. So hit that link in the show notes. The link is send Carlene a text, so just click on that, and I'm the only one that sees this. And share your rules with me. Because I'm telling you, someone out there could need your rule. So let's help each other out. And if I get enough responses, I'm going to share some of your rules in the next episode. And that is where we're going to be diving into the final third step of the Own Your Day series. I love spending time with you here. And if today's episode sparked something for you, I'd love to hear about it. Leave a review, share it with a friend, or come chat with me on Instagram. And thank you so much for tuning in. And your dreams are waiting for you. Your time is now. And I can't wait to see you in the next episode. Oh, and one more thing. This is the legal language. You know, the stuff that the lawyers put together, and they say that I need to read this to you. So here we go. This podcast is presented solely for educational and entertainment purposes. I'm just your friend. I'm not a licensed therapist. This podcast is not intended as a substitute for the advice of a physician, professional coach, psychotherapist, or other qualified professionals. Got it? Good. I will see you in the next episode.